Hello, it's Jeanette with Amazing Paper Crafts. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm back with another video tutorial, and in today's tutorial I'm going to show you how I made this card using some masking techniques that I learned, and I'm just changing things up just a little bit for this video. And what I'm using is some of the new colors that are coming live today. It's actually Monday when I'm filming this, but when I post this, it's going to be Tuesday. And guess what Tuesday is? May the 4th, and that is the day that Stampin' Up's new annual catalog goes live. Isn't that wonderful? I'm just so excited about that. So let me get started on this card. See how pretty these, it's got a little bit of bling on there and a bunch of shading and stuff, but this is the way I do this type of card, and I'm anxious to show that to you. And of course I'm going to change up the colors. I am going to use some fresh Freesia. Yep, that's the color I'm going to use, and I'm going to be stamping with an old favorite, and that's Blackberry Bliss. And the stamp set that I'm going to be using is called Flowers of Friendship, and it bundles with the flowers stamp. I think it's called the Flowers and Leaves stamp. If you buy them together as a bundle, you will save 10%, and you can also buy them separately if you want to. And put that away over there. I am going to be using a couple of the flowers, these two flowers, and I'll be using the two leaves and a sentiment. Thank you for everything. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to bring in a piece of paper because I'm going to be probably going off the page with maybe some leaves, and I don't want to get it too busy, so I'm just going to stamp 3 of the big and 3 of the small flowers, and I'm just going to scatter them around wherever I feel like it. Okay, so there's 1, there's 2, and there is 3. Okay, let me grab the small flower, and here is 1. That. There is another right here, and there is 1 right about there. Okay, and now we're going to fill the rest of these in with some leaves. I'm going to start with the big leaves first. I think 1 needs to go maybe right over here. Or not. We're just going to leave it alone because we're going to do some coloring. And we're going to be coloring with some of our brushes. But before we do that, you know, our new blending brushes, before we do that, I need to mask everything that I did. I need to mask it off. And so instead of using masking paper, you know, they sell masking paper out there. I do have some, I just couldn't find it. I'm just going to go ahead and use some scrap grit paper, and I'm going to use this punch, and I'm going to just, let's fold this up like this. I don't know how many I'm going to need, but I'll try to punch as many as I can out of this paper that I have. And I'm just going to punch, you know, just punch, and then let's move this around, and we will punch again. I'm getting 2 layers out of each one. Fold this one in half here, and I'm going to punch again, and move this around, and we will punch again. Okay, and there we go. We got all of these little punches here, and instead of me taking some removable tape and putting it on each one of these, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put the removable tape on each one of these designs here. So I'm just going to put a little bit in the middle of each one of these little designs here. I'm not worried if it goes over. Okay, I just want to get a little bit in just so that paper will stick. And if it goes over, I will just rub it away. Okay, and so what I'm going to do is with the larger flowers, I'm going to match up and just place that over there like that. And then with like the leaves, I'm going to just cover the leaves like that. Okay, and I'm going to do the whole thing with the masks, and then I will be right back. so now I've got everything all masked off, and now I want to make sure that there's no adhesive beyond what's masked. So I'm just going to, you know, rub it off with my finger, or you could use your adhesive remover if you have one, but it will just come off with your finger if you just rub, and you don't want to have any glue outside those little masked pieces. All right, now it's time to color. Now I'm going to be bringing out my blending brush. Yep, I got a new one because I haven't started with pinks yet. And the colors that I've chosen are Melon Mambo, Rich Razzleberry, and Gorgeous Grape. I don't know how it's going to look, but I wanted enough of a contrast on here so that it would look slightly blended, similar colors, but contrast too. Okay, let's see. I will start with let me start with the Melon Mambo first. Okay, now I am going to bring this here, and I don't want really heavy color on here. See, I want to get that first part of it off, and then I'm just going to bring in the color. And because it's, you know, it's purple on pink, it's probably not going to look as pink and purple. Actually, that kind of looks like our new polished pink color. Isn't that pretty? And I'm going to just try to pick about maybe 3 spots where I want this color. Okay, make sure I get most of the color off when I do this. Oh, guess what? Look at that. I didn't rub off the glue right there, and now I have a glue spot there. So I'm just going to try to fix it like that. Okay, now if I want to go a little darker, I can. Just for, you know, contrast, like I said. And I'm finding a little bit more glue that I didn't rub off. You see that? But I'm okay with that. I mean, you know, it's going to be fine. Just rub a little bit more ink on that. Now I'm going to close this up. I'm going to grab Gorgeous Grape next. I want to take some of this ink off of here. And let's open the Gorgeous Grape. Oops. And I just stuck my whole hand in there. Look at that. So we'll get that. And we're moving on. Okay. Don't want the heavy duty. I'm going to be bringing that Gorgeous Grape in on 3 sections here. Maybe one right here. Okay. And let's see, where else do I want Gorgeous Grape? Right about here. And I'm trying to get the darkest part of it off. Like that. And I'll come in and darken it in the spots. Right here. Okay. And the next thing I'm going to do is put on some Rich Razzleberry. That is going to be the darkest color we have, other than the Blackberry Bliss that I stamped with. Let's get off some of this ink from our brush. We're going to go in with the Rich Razzleberry, tap it off. So I'm continuing with this Rich Razzleberry, and I'm putting it in all the spots that I did not get with the other colors. And try not to lift your little masks. Okay. Try to do that the best you can. And I think I'm pretty much done here. Let me get a little bit more Rich Razzleberry right around here. Yep. Okay. Look at all those beautiful pink colors. Oh my goodness. All right. Now it's time to take your masks off, and I will try to fast forward here. When I do that, I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool, and we'll just peel these up. Okay, Okay, I have all of my masks picked up now. Let me move these aside here. And now what I want to do is I want to take off all the adhesive. There's still adhesive everywhere, you know, that I put it on these little designs. So I'm just going to rub it off with my adhesive remover. Okay, now that now I see where some of the adhesive, the removable adhesive was stuck outside of this little leaf right here, I can just go ahead and remask that leaf. We'll put that right there and come in with, well, I'm just going to hold it there because I took the adhesive off already. I'm just going to color it in a little bit with some rich razzleberry. Okay, so I'm done with that. I know it kind of looks a little weird, but let's finish off this card. It's going to look so beautiful when we're done. I need to trim this down to 3, and I need this to be 3 3/4 by 5 inches. So right now it's 4 1/4. So I'm going to cut it to 4 inches on one side here. Okay. And then I'm going to also cut it to 3 3/4 of an inch on this side here. Let's move this out of the way. Okay. And then right now it is at 5 1/2 inches. So I'm going to cut it down to 5 1/4 right here on this side. And then I'm going to cut it down to 5 inches. And I turn it this way. Okay. And there we go. Now I'm going to be layering this on a piece of Blackberry Bliss. But before I do that, I want to punch my label out of the Blackberry Bliss. I'm just going to put my punch in here to get this, because I'm going to use that as the background of my label. And then I'm going to take some Whisper White. We'll layer this like that, but I'm going to take some Whisper White, and I'm going to take my sentiment, which says thank you. Oh, it says thank you. What is it? For everything. All right. This again. Third time's a charm. We're going to stamp it down with your thank you for everything. Better, much better. I'm going to just tap very carefully and put this on the bottom first. Do not rock your stamp. There we go. And then we're going to put it on the top here. Do not rock your stamp. And there we go. That's so much better. Now let's bring in that punch. And we are just going to punch that out like that. I kind of stamped it a little too close to the bottom, but that's okay. We're going to work with it. There we go. Now, what I need to do is I need to cut this in half, which I will do. Just going to eyeball the halfway mark. We're cutting it in half. And we are going to put some multi-purpose glue on this right here and right here. I need to bring in my silicone craft sheet, don't I? Okay. And what I want to do is I want to just make this look like it is framed in the Blackberry Bliss, and I get a little bit of hang time with that liquid glue, that multi-purpose liquid glue. Okay, and we will bring this here. Oop, see, this is why I needed my silicone craft sheet. Putting this down here like that. And there we have it, top and bottom. Okay, so now let's really bring this in. Okay, I'm going to close this up for now before I get my finger in it again. Okay, we are going to be using some more multi-purpose liquid glue. Okay, and we're going to layer it on our Blackberry Bliss piece. You know, I need this, and I know that it's going to be kind of hard to see with that darker silicone craft sheet, but I am just going to need it so that I don't get glue all over my surface. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to be using some fresh Freesia ribbon. Let me pull a little bit of this fresh Freesia out. And I think that should be enough. Let me get my ribbon scissors. And I'm going to put some seal adhesive on this side here. Let me get it started here. Seal right there and seal right there. And let's see how it's going to work. This right across the top right there. Just make sure that it's even. If it isn't, just you can pick it up and fix it. There we go. Oh, this is just a little crooked. There we go. Just like that. Okay, and now we're going to take our sentiment. We'll put some, if I could find them. Here's some dimensionals. Oh my goodness. Okay. We'll put our dimensionals on here. I'm going to put about 4 of them on one side and the other. Okay. Let's take this off here. And let's try to get that right in the center here. Okay, very good. And now I'm going to take the jewels, and with our jewels I am going to take some of these fresh Freesia colored jewels. Well, actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and put this on our card base, which is right here, and this measures 11 inches by 4 1/4, and I have scored it at 5 1/2. So we're going to put this on here like that, and let's use some more Tombow Mono multi-purpose glue for that. Okay, and here we go. Make sure we got it the right direction. Make sure we have a nice even border all the way around. Like that. Yeah. Now let's bring in some of our jewels. I'm going to take my Take Your Pick tool, and I'm going to pick up some of the fresh Freesia ones here. For the big ones, I'll use the bigger jewels, and for the little ones, I will use the little jewels right here. Okay. Got another little one right here. All right, I'm not going to worry about that one because I think I'm going to hide that with a ribbon. And so here's my ribbon here. I'm just going to make a little bow, and we'll attach that with our glue dots, our mini glue dots. There we go. That doesn't look too bad. We'll trim that off right there. And grab a glue dot right there. Cut that off. And we will put the bow right there. All right, but there's one more thing I want to do to this to give it just a little bit more bling. Let's move this over a little bit. This moved on me here, this little gem. I think they're called gems. Jewels. That's what they are. They're called jewels. Okay. What I want to do is I want to take some Wink of Stella. And I want to go over all of these little flowers. And I want to put some Wink of Stella in there. And if you notice, as I'm doing that, it's making the outer ink of the design bleed into the center. So I'm just being very, very careful not to go overboard, but just to grab some of the ink on the edges and pull it in. And it makes it look like I'm coloring with a lighter color, doesn't it? Let's move that bow aside. And then it will sparkle so pretty. Oh my goodness, that sparkle. I don't know if you could see that sparkle. Oh, that is so pretty. Okay, so I'm going to finish this part up. And I think I'm going to take another one of these little jewels, and I'm going to put one right here, and I am going to put one right here, just because I want to, just because I can. Look how pretty that is. Now let's stamp something on the inside here. I am going to stamp this row with the Blackberry Bliss. I'm going to stamp the row of flowers again, just on that bottom edge. Okay, and then I'm also going to be stamping the smaller flower up here on this edge here. And along with that, I'm going to stamp the small leaf. One right here and one right there. Of course, you're going to do a neater job when you do yours. Okay. All right. I think I'm done with my card now. Alas. I know this took a little bit longer than I wanted it to. And sorry for all the interruptions and all the do-overs, but we are done with this card. And let's bring in the other cards that we have. Get this out of here. Boy, you're going to be picking these up off the floor forever. So we've got our orangey bronzy one here. And we have our really pretty Just Jade, pretty greenish colors here. And there we have it. Aren't they pretty? They look so bright and colorful. I just love all of these beautiful colors. So I hope that I taught you something today. I hope that you enjoyed the video. And if you did, please give me a thumbs up. And also subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed already. And if you need any of the tools and supplies that I use, they'll be listed in the description of the video, or you can also go to my website at www.geamazingpapercrafts.stampinup.net. I hope to be your demonstrator if you don't already have one. So once again, I'm Jeanette with Geamazing Paper Crafts, and you make it a great day. Bye-bye.